JW turn G. Shit, look, we finna get right into this motherfucker. Yeah, alright, so look. This was always a weird ass subject growing up a witness, right? Even the word masturbation, right? Like, it's just because when you're growing up, it's like this is something that you hear at the Kingdom Halls and in the meetings, and there's people answering and shit, right? They're asking questions. And it's like you're a little kid, you don't want to hear about this subject with all these people, right? Like, that's something you bring up personal with your parents when y'all have that talk or whatever. But it's like, I'm not trying to talk to no elder about this. I'm not trying to discuss this. Like, I'm a little, like, I got 5th grade fucking math test tomorrow, and y'all talking about masturbating. Sister Johnson low-key excited in this bitch. Let me chill. Alright, but now we finna find, we finna find a little article and see masturbation and homosexuality. Like, those two correlate? Yo, what? Yo, what? They wildin'. Man, self-abuse? Why is it so hard to avoid? That shit is hard to avoid. It's damn near impossible. That shit's damn near impossible, especially if you go to public school. So I remember the first type of porn or anything that I seen, it was in 5th grade. This dude had brought these comics to school, right? But they were in Spanish. So I couldn't read them, but the pictures were fire, right? And I remember he brought that book to school, and during recess, you know, we flipped through that motherfucker. And then for the rest of the day, that's all I could think of. That's all I could think of. So I went home and went crazy after school. But, oh man, you know what? Just because how absurd this is right here, masturbation and homosexuality, like the way they put those two together, like they have anything to do with each other is so crazy that I think I'm gonna do this one. Okay, and this is from the book Your Youth Getting the Best Out of It, which I may be wrong, but I think that's like the updated version of the Young People Ask. Like back in the day, it was Young People Ask is like what it was called, like the series or whatever. They had like videos, but they would come out with these books and these articles, right? And growing up, when you're like around, I don't know, I guess like a preteen or whatever the fuck, I don't know, whatever age you go through puberty and shit, that's like your best friend, the Young People Ask book and everything, because they got other young people in there and they have their experiences and you're reading and studying, and yes, it's a lot. But let's see what the fuck they talking about in this motherfucker. Let me see. It says, view of a higher source. That's weird. Okay. Homosexual practices. Overcoming with self-control. Shit's damn near impossible. And it's like, that's just the way, that's, like, the world is set to take your power and your attention and your energy, right? And there's so much porn that's so accessible, right? Like, you could pull that shit up on your phone easy, right? And then now with the algorithms, like, even if you go on a porn website or you watching something, you go on TikTok and you're going to see, like, the algorithm is going to be focused on that shit. And it's crazy, right? Because the shit's all set up on purpose, right? Like, it's so accessible on purpose. And I mean, like, I'm not against jacking off or masturbating, whatever the fuck, but obviously you can do anything too much, right? So, I mean, whatever. Yeah, I guess let's just read this motherfucker and see what they talking about. Isn't it remarkable how the bodies of boys and girls develop during adolescence so that they can either father children or give birth to them? Okay? Yeah, but that's weird. I mean, who's thinking about that? Like, I get it from an anatomy standpoint, but we're talking about masturbation and homosexuality, so chill. Yo, I'm gonna just read that one more time. Isn't it remarkable how the bodies of boys and girls develop during adolescence so that they can either father children or give birth to them? Like, nobody here is a doctor, so why are we thinking about that? Along with the physical transformation of your body, there is usually a change in your attitude towards the opposite sex. An attraction grows, and often boys develop a keen interest in girls, and girls in boys. Man, I remember having a little girlfriend in kindergarten. You feel me? Shit, I gotta plug in my charger. Yeah, I remember I had this fly-ass jacket. Hold on. Yeah, I was like a little rebel, you feel me? But yeah, I had this fly-ass jacket, and she was feeling it. And we used to talk every day. We'd just be in recess, holding hands, running through the little fucking figure 8 shit, hopscotch. Oh man. Anyway, let me shut the fuck up and get back to reading. An attraction grows, and often boys develop keen interest in girls and girls and boys. But at the same time, you may have a certain wonderment and curiosity about your own rapidly changing body. How should you satisfy this curiosity? Should you experiment with your sex organs? Is there anything wrong with rubbing them in some way until the excitement is climaxed? This is out of pocket, right? This is a conversation between the parent and the child. right, when it gets to that, if that's how you, I don't even really know how that shit goes in a normal fucking family. So I can't even speak, right? But what I do know is that it's not coming from a group of dudes, a group of men, or some random ass clique, posse, gang that hooked up. Who are y'all? This is intrusive. This is too much. Like, get the fuck out of here. Go talk to your family about this. Like, don't make this a group thing. That practice is called masturbation. It is very common. One authority on the subject says, every serious statistical study that we have shows that clearly at least 95% of boys and young men between 13 and 25 years of age pass through periods of habitual masturbation of varying lengths. As for girls, this source says that 45 to 50% are found to actually masturbate. Where the fuck they get this study from? Because I'm a guarantee you, that shit's 100% for both sides. What the nigga? Hold on. As for girls, this source says that 40 to 50% are found to actually masturbate. 40 to 50%? They was lying. I'm sorry. But everybody that did that survey, all them females, is a bunch of lying ass motherfuckers. Oh man, hell no. Some people say that these figures prove normalcy and that the absence of masturbation is a healthy youth is a matter of concern. Now, what do you think? Do you agree that because in today's world, masturbation is a very common thing, that it makes it natural, normal function of the body? Lying and stealing are also common today. Whoa! Why are these niggas comparing masturbating to lying and stealing? Nigga, what? Those are crimes, bro. I mean, not lying, but stealing is a crime, right? We're comparing, I'm gonna just run that back. Now, what do you think? Do you agree that because in today's world, masturbation is a very common thing, that it makes it natural, normal function of the body? Lying and stealing are also common today. Yet you wouldn't say this makes them a natural and proper. This makes them natural and proper, would you? The common code is quite universal, but this certainly doesn't mean that you want it, does it? Then what about the claim that masturbation is harmless? What? Nigga, the common code, bro? What are you on? Nigga, it's people that approve this shit, bro. People actually type this shit up. And it went through motherfuckers that edit. I mean, fuck. And they put this shit out. And people, I mean, I was one of them. I was reading this shit, studying it. From a physical standpoint, the majority of doctors say that the occasional masturbation is harmless. Like most psychiatrists, they say that damage comes only if the practicer has feelings of guilt that cause mental and emotional disturbance. These in turn producing physical upset. See, and that's what happens. Because it's such a bad thing. They make it such a bad thing that you'll just guilt trip yourself into it. Right? I don't even know where I was at. I'm assuming I'm right here. But doctors and psychiatrists aren't perfect humans, subject to error, and their views change. Hold on, my nigga. Okay, wait. Fuck, okay, look, hold on. I'm gonna read that again. But doctors and psychiatrists are imperfect humans, subject to error, and their views change. There is, though, a source of counsel that young people can turn to that is stable and free from error or misjudgment. That is God's word. But these niggas done had like 4 or 5 changes in the past, couple years? They changed up the beards, they changed up the way the ladies can dress, they done changed up them clinking them glasses, higher education, but doctors and psychiatrists are imperfect humans, subject to errors, and their views change. But we don't. Okay. Oh, man. And if we want just not longer life, but everlasting life in God's favor, we should seek his wisdom and counsel. He can do for us and for our happiness what men could never do. The real question then is not how much physical harm could result from masturbation, but whether spiritual harm results, my nigga. And see, reading this now, I'm like, what the fuck are y'all on? Like, believing this and reading this, you will bring bad shit, spirits, and vibes on yourself. Right? Like, this will cause you to curse yourself. Because every time you jack off, masturbate, every time you think about it, you're going to feel so fucking guilty and so fucking bad. And then especially, if you go through and rub that thing out, oh, man. You're going to guilt yourself. You're going to be praying for forgiveness. Oh, man. They just compared masturbating with spiritual harm. Unless you do that to yourself by all of these negative energy that they put into it. True, the words masturbation and self-abuse do not appear in the Bible. They don't even go together. But what do you understand from the inspired counsel of the Apostle Paul at Colossians 3:5? To those not wanting to lose God's approval, he says, Deaden therefore your body members that are upon the earth, as respects fornication, uncleanness, sexual appetite, hurtful desire, and covetousness. Unlike fornication, masturbation is something that a person may do by himself or herself. Does that keep it from being unclean? Or is it also giving into and being dominated by sexual appetite? Man, see, they make that shit sound terrible, right? Like, not the act of doing it, but just everything that comes with it, right? They're just painting this bad fucking light. Man, you think them niggas ain't jacking off, bro? Come on, stop playing with me. Like, let's keep it a buck, bro. Man, they all probably talk about they Viagra popping ass muff. Man, bro, they probably have them little groups. They probably got a little group chat, right? And they just sharing pictures in that bitch, and like, they probably, because I know they got bread, obviously, right? So they paying the prostitutes to pull up. I know they having crazy parties. They doing coke and fucking. And then they writing this shit, giving it out to us. They like the Righteous Gemstones, pretty much. If y'all ain't seen that show, y'all gotta watch it. It's on HBO Max, I think. This shit's funny. Oh, man. Where was I at? I think it was right here. In his letter to the Colossians, quoted in the previous paragraph, Paul mentioned covetousness, and in this text, greediness. Really, masturbation expresses both of these undesirable qualities. How? Well, it is an expression of desiring something that does not rightly belong to one. Your body? What? Your body doesn't belong to you? God has provided marriage as the arrangement in which to satisfy sexual desires. But the person who practices masturbation is, in effect, trying to obtain that satisfaction without paying the price. The price is the assuming and shouldering of the responsibilities that go along with marriage. Bro. In this connection, note that when the Apostle Paul counseled persons who were inflamed with passion, he did not tell them to seek relief through masturbation, but through God's provision of marriage. Actually, masturbation may endanger your future happiness in marriage. If a person is used to satisfying his or her passions through masturbation, this develops the habit of thinking only of one's pleasure and satisfaction. But in marriage, there is need, especially on the part of the man, to show concern for the other person's pleasure and satisfaction as well. They schooling these niggas in the sex game. Otherwise, marital relations deteriorate and there is a distress and disillusionment. This very situation, husbands thinking of their own satisfaction and disregarding their wives' needs, is one of the greatest problems in marriage. Much of it stems from premarital masturbation habit. That's one of the greatest problems in marriage. I mean, I don't know. I'm not married. Okay. Oh, shit. I forgot about this. Why they coupled this shit in there? I forgot. Okay, hold on. Let's get into this one then. Okay. Weakly giving into sexual desires by masturbation will certainly not give you strength when faced with a situation tempting you to commit fornication or even homosexuality. Just the opposite. It cultivates wrong thinking and wrong desire. In fact, masturbation can lead into... Bro, what? What the fuck are they on, bro? Masturbation can lead into homosexuality. That's what it says. Nigga. So they gonna have you thinking if you jack off, you gonna be gay. Bro, what? This is crazy. Man. I mean, the only way that would be true is if you just get in tune with your body sexually, right? And you're comfortable with sex, and you want to express that, and you figure out you like the same sex. But they making it seem like you, I don't know. In such instances, the person, not satisfied with his lonely sexual activity, seeks a partner for mutual sex play. That sounds so like BDSM type shit. This happens much more frequently than you realize. Wait, what? This happens much more frequently than you realize. Contrary to what many persons may think, homosexuals are not born that way, but their homosexual behavior is learned. You see how the way they're painting it? I hope that made sense when I explained it earlier versus the way they are saying it, right? I'm gonna read that again. First off, they're saying this happens much more frequently than you realize. Contrary to what many persons think, homosexuals are not born that way, but their homosexual behavior is learned. And often a person gets started when very young by playing with another sexual parts, and then engaging in homosexual acts. One man relates. Okay, who told this story? When I was young, I had very little parental guidance. I was allowed to go my own way and do my own thing. It was when I was only about 8 years old, my older cousin introduced me to homosexual acts. My nigga, why are you telling this? I found these pleasurable, oh my god, and so continued to practice with them and later with others. Soon it was almost a daily activity. At first I had no realization of doing anything wrong. My parents had not given me any instruction regarding moral conduct, and I never confided in them. So you're confiding in us? Nigga, keep this to yourself and a therapist. We then lived in a Central American country. Later we moved to New York City, where I finished high school. I also continued homosexual practices. First off, who talks like that, right? Like, who's speaking like that? It sounds like a robot. I also continued homosexual practices. Like, nigga, just say you were gay. Like, why are you making this so perfect? Right? The schools in city were filled with homosexuals. That sounds so crazy. That sounds crazy. So there were plenty of opportunities. As I grew older, I realized what I was doing was unnatural and was not right. But I continued because I wanted to. These sex acts had become very enticing to me. The youth was hooked on the practices, and it was only after great effort that he was able to overcome them. What motivated him to change? And see, look, this was another reason why I hated going out in field service, right? Because let's say I roll up on a gay couple, right? In the Bible, I'm supposed to read to them these scriptures and like whatever, not like on the spot like that, right? But if they wanted to learn or study or whatever, right, I would have to pretty much tell them that they can't be gay, right? Like no matter what, y'all can't be with each other, and like you can't even think about it. Like you have to change. And who am I to tell somebody that might be the love of their life? Who the fuck am I to come up in there and do that? And there's people that, I mean, like, the audacity, you feel me? Like, it's just crazy. Anyway, it was a desire to please Jehovah God. When he understood that God used homosexual acts as unnatural and that he totally disapproves of them, the young man fought these practices until he had conquered them. God's word is very clear on this matter, saying, "Make no mistake, no fornicator or idolater, none who are guilty either of adultery or homosexual perversion will possess the kingdom of God." Overcoming with self-control. That sounds kind of boring, but they're just going, okay, fuck it. It's almost the end anyway. What do you think about has to do with a lot? Damn, nigga. What you think about has a lot to do with the way you feel and the things you do. So what do you really want? Do you want to feel disturbed by sexual desire most of the time? Disturbed, my nigga? I'm not disturbed by sexual desire. I welcome that shit. You feel me? What are you talking about? Like, you're making it weird now. Do you want to feel disturbed by sexual desire most of the time? Habitually masturbating and perhaps even slipping into homosexual practices? Nigga. This can happen if you let your mind dwell on sexual matters. Nigga. And see, there's nothing wrong with that. These niggas be killing, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, when you a real J-dub nigga, like when you really living that life, you can't pimp, like you can't pull girls, you can't talk to them. So like when somebody comes around that actually can, right, somebody that's smooth, somebody that knows what to say, knows what they doing, it's easy. It's easy. That's why we was pulling them in the congregations, at the assemblies, at the conventions. Oh man, yeah, we had them hoes back in the day. But you just gotta be smooth, because most uptight, necktie J-dub niggas is weird. But if you want to keep such sexual urge from cutting into your enjoyment of life, and you're really accomplishing worthwhile things, then exercise self-control and turn your minds onto other matters. When pictures, reading matter, or other things containing sexual stimulating material come your way, do not weakly give in. If you let your mind dwell on such things or engage in conversation that revolves around them, you will pay the consequence in feeling upset and in the building up of your pressure within yourself. Oh shit. That is because the longer you look at or talk about such things, the deeper your heart becomes involved. And your heart is a major factor in moving you to act. And see, if you're growing up and you're reading this, you're going to believe it, right? Because it's all you know. And it's coming from your parents or the people that are taking care of you and the people that you've known your whole life, right? These people have seen you grow up and everything. So you're going to believe this, right? And it's like whatever they're saying in here, you're going to take it to heart as truth. So you're going to have such a bad negative connotation around this shit. But what if even under ordinary circumstances, you feel passion building up within you? You're horny, right? Like they say that shit's so weird. You feel passion building up within you, all poetic and shit. How can you find relief? I can tell you how to find relief. Not by resorting to masturbation, but by getting your mind, heart, and body on another track. You can do some work, engage in physical exercise, play a game, or go on a walk. It is good to find someone to talk to who has your respect. Even call someone like that on the phone if necessary. Reading, even aloud, the Bible or publications explaining the Bible is one of the finest helps. And above all, take the problem to your Heavenly Father Jehovah in prayer. Don't pray to him about masturbating, because why would he care? Right? Like, supposedly, he's all-knowing, and there's so much bad shit that is happening right now. He gives a fuck if I'm masturbating. Right? But when you really tapped in spiritually, you can transmute that. And that's just crazy. It's never worked for me, though. So maybe you can't transmute it. I mean, obviously there's a bunch of stories and shit of people that have done it. I personally, I don't know. It really doesn't make me feel any different. Maybe I didn't do it long enough. I don't know. Shit. Where are we at? There are, of course, many additional things of a simple and sensible nature that one can do to help avoid or reduce sexual tension. Being with others. See, in sexual tension, you gotta love that shit. When you and a girl got sexual tension and y'all bouncing off each other, she throwing eyes and you throwing eyes, and you like, hey, what's up, baby? I see you peeking, but you ain't speaking. You feel me? Like, what's up with you? And y'all holler at each other like, anyway, on some real shit. On some real shit though, building sexual tension. You know, like they just kill that whole thing. That's what I'm saying. It makes niggas weird. Man. Being with others, provided of course that they are wholesome persons, is a protection. These niggas ain't wholesome. If you sleep in a room alone and you find that you seem to feel special stress in the direction at night. If you sleep in a room alone and you find that you seem to feel special stress in this direction at night, you may be able to arrange matters to share a room with another member of your family. Nigga, what are you on? Huh? Bro. Okay, so I'm growing up, I'm 15 years old, and man, as soon as 10 o'clock hit, I get to laying in bed, man, I get horny. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna ask my brother if we can sleep in the same room. Nigga, no. What? and I mean, okay, let me go ask my uncle. Let me ask my mom. Get the fuck out of it. What do you want? Why would you do that? Also, you may find it helpful to sleep on your side rather than on your back. Niggas try to kill the whole morning wood vibe. Come on, dog. Relax. Another thing that may be helpful is to see that your clothing does not unnecessarily cause friction with the sexual organs. Y'all niggas are too deep in my shit right now. Before retiring, try to see and what you read or talk about has a calming effect rather than the opposite. So too with any eating that you might do at this time. What? Some have even found that if they limit the amount of food and drink they consume before retiring, they sleep more soundly and not so inclined to be aroused sexually. Man, they gonna kill the whole shit. You gonna make me kill my shit. Right? Like, being horny and having a sexual desire is a good thing. That means you're a human. They're trying to just desensitize that shit. And especially important is good masculine or feminine hygiene. Lack of cleanliness can produce irritation of the genital organs and pull on one's attention in that direction. You can inquire of your parents for information on such matters of personal hygiene. Proper hygiene calls for certain handling of the sex organs, and one might feel that this would be a temptation to misuse them. But because your motive is right, with the aim of avoiding sexual tension, nigga, look, with the aim of avoiding sexual tension, if you can master that shit, like just being able to interact with a woman, right? Like they try to kill that shit, and a lot of niggas is weird, bro, because of this. You may well find that such care will instead help you to take a more healthful view toward these organs. You will appreciate that they were never meant to take you over and rule your whole life. That's a different thing in having, like, you can't avoid sexual tension. Like, you gotta get married one day. You know what I mean? Just learn how to operate it, learn how to use it. But they don't teach you that. They teach you, no, don't do this and stop doing that. Like, let me explore my body like it's mine. Like, what are you on, bro? To the audacity to tell me that. If you are now fighting the practice of masturbation, remember, you are certainly not the first or the only one who has faced this problem. Even though you find yourself having a hard struggle to break a masturbation habit, never feel that Jehovah God and His Son Jesus Christ have given up on you. They don't care. If you sincerely keep working to overcome it, they will kindly and patiently help you to build this needed strength so that you come out victorious. Oh, man. And that's, yeah. Fuck with your boy, JW Sir G.